Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. So when the year started, I started tracking like all of the products I got in PR, and then after 2 months passed, I did my first like PR Roundup review style video, and this is the second one to that, but you guys seem to really enjoy the first one. I wasn't sure how you guys would like it, if it would be interesting for you, but you guys seem to be really into it. You liked the idea of me doing this every 2 months. You liked kind of hearing more follow-up thoughts on products that I've received in PR, so I figured I would continue with that, and I hope it's helpful for you. Before we get started, I just wanted to give a big overall thank you to these brands for sending me these products to try out. It means so much that you like what I'm doing, you like my work, and you wanted to send me some of your products, so just thank you very much. I'm really not trying to come off as braggy in this video. I really hope nobody gets that impression. This is simply just supposed to be informative, just to kind of give more thoughts on products that I've tried out. You guys didn't seem to get that impression in the first video, and I really hope it continues to stay that way because I'm very grateful for what I've received. I've worked really hard, and I really hope this is helpful for you. Basically, we're just going to go in the order that I've received things. I'm going to just kind of chat about my thoughts over the time of me using it, and pretty much that's it. Let's just hop into this. All right, the very first thing I got was a package from Pixy. They sent over their entire Milky skincare line, and there are 6 products I have to talk about. I actually did an IGTV video back in March, I believe, using all of these products if you want to see them actually in action, but basically we're just going to go over what they are and what they do. The first one is the Hydrating Milky Cleanser. All of these products have coconut and probiotics in them. This cleanser is a soothing cleansing cream. I really like this. I've kept this in my shower pretty much since the beginning that I've had it. I use this as my morning cleanser whenever I take a morning shower. I find it to be really gentle. It feels really nice on my skin. I've been pretty pleased with it. I haven't decided if I'll repurchase it once I'm done with it, but in the meantime, I'm really enjoying it for now. This next one is the Hydrating Milky Peel. It's a gentle exfoliating cream. I do like this. I haven't used this as much lately because of a different product that I'm going to talk about in a minute, but I do like this. You apply this to your skin when it's damp. I believe when it's damp. It just says on to clean skin, so I guess clean dry skin. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've used this, but I do like it. You apply it to clean skin, you let it sit for a couple minutes, and then you just lightly rub it off and then rinse it off, and it just helps to exfoliate your skin. It feels really soft afterwards. I do really like this. I have no problems with it. If there wasn't a different product that I'm going to talk about in a little while that kind of replaced it for me, I'd probably still be using this. At first I was using this probably twice a week. I really liked it. I felt like it was really gentle. It didn't irritate my skin or anything, and I was pretty pleased with it. But again, something kind of replaced it, so it's only like so good. It was good for when it was the only thing I had. This is the Hydrating Milky Makeup Remover. This is a bi-phase makeup removing milk. I like to use this on days that maybe I'm doing an eye swatch video and I'm wiping off my eye shadow in between swatches. I like to use this on days that maybe I just did my makeup and I want to just take it off really quick and reapply. I like to do this on heavy makeup days where I feel like I absolutely have to go in with something like this before I even touch my cleanser. This is pretty effective. I just pump it onto my cotton rounds. You just pump it at the top and it removes all my makeup. It doesn't irritate my eyes. It does leave a film behind, like 1000% you need another cleanser after removing your makeup, which I agree that you should do that regardless. It does leave a film, but I feel like it feels nice. It does the job. I've liked it. You can see I've made a little bit of a dent. I feel like I don't need a ton of product, and I don't know, it's been working for me. This is the Milky Tonic. It has jojoba and avoine. I don't know how to say that word. I apologize. But this is a soothing toner. I do like this. However, I decided to put it away for the time being while I'm finishing up some other toners. But once I'm done with my Good Molecules brightening toner for the morning, I'll probably start using this one in the morning. I think this one might be nice first thing, but we will just have to see. I liked it the couple of times I used it, but I didn't use it like long enough in a row to really get a good feel of it. But I have a feeling I'll like this because so far none of these other products have irritated me. I want to use up my toner that I'm using before I bust into this one completely, because I don't need a bunch of half-used toners in my bathroom. But so far so good. I don't have any complaints. I think it'll do fine. That's pretty much all I can say with that one. This is the Hydrating Milky Serum. It's a revitalizing skin boost. I've used this a couple times. I actually really like using this after face masks specifically. I don't know why. I just kind of started doing it and it seemed to work out pretty well for me. I'll probably start using this in the morning once I'm out of my morning serum, which is the vitamin C one, I think, or something like that from Pixy. I'm really liking that one, but it's almost gone, so I'll probably replace that with this. I'm liking it. I don't have any issues. Again, so far so good. And finally is the Hydrating Milky Lotion. This has coconut and shea butter. It's a face and body moisturizer. I've only used it a couple of times on the face. It was fine, but I feel like it's not my favorite consistency for a face lotion, and I'm actually not the person that loves lotion on my body. Most of them leave too much of a film behind. This one actually melts in beautifully. I love using this after the shower. It just melts into my skin, makes me feel soft without feeling lotiony. I'm a big fan of that for that reason alone. I like the feeling of it, the smell, everything like that too, but the fact that it doesn't leave a sticky film behind when I use it on my body, that's a winner for me. All right, moving on to the next thing. I got the Making Mauves it's the Mauve collection from Colourpop. I can't remember what the name of the collection itself was called, but the Mauve collection. They had a palette, 2 Super Shock shadows, 2 blushes, and 2 lip glosses. The shadow palette, I will pop a picture up here, was the Making Mauves. I did do a first impressions and a 3 looks 1 palette with that in case you are interested. I actually ended up decluttering that one because I didn't feel like I needed it in my collection. I had another mauve based palette that I liked a little bit more, and I ended up giving it to my best friend Mackenzie. So that one is no longer with me, but I did have fun like playing with it. I didn't have any issues with the palette itself. The blendability was fine. The shimmers were beautiful. I did have a repeat shade in mine. I didn't reach out to get a replacement because I knew I wasn't going to keep the palette anyways, and I didn't feel like we should waste the shipping just to replace one shadow. But I did have a good time playing with it. I just didn't feel like I needed it. So I ended up decluttering it, but it was fine. No like issues with it. I do still have the 2 Super Shock shadows, and I really, really like them. They are both beautiful. This one is called Bloomer. It's this beautiful, like, to me it reminds me of jam. I think it's really lovely. I haven't reached for this one a ton, but the couple of times that I've used it, I really liked the way it looked on my eyes. I like to apply these with my finger specifically, by the way. And this one is called Day Trippin'. I actually keep this one here on my filming desk so I can just grab it whenever I feel like as a topper. It gives a really pretty wet look to the eyes. I believe you can only buy these Super Shocks together as a bundle rather than separately, which is unfortunate, but they're both really pretty. I love Day Trippin', though I wish Day Trippin' was sold by itself. I love the 2 blushes in this collection so much. I think the packaging is super cute. I love this sketchy looking floral artwork. The 2 shades are Coast to Coast right here and Catch My Vibe right here. I've actually worn both pretty equally. I don't know if I have a favorite one over the other. I really like both of them. This one is obviously a little bit more rosy mauve-y. It's a little deeper, and this one's a bit more bright, but I've really been enjoying both of them. I don't have complaints. I'll swatch them for you, even though blush does not swatch well. This one is Catch My Vibe. This one is Coast to Coast. So that's what they look like. I feel like they blend nicely on the cheeks. I really like Colourpop's pressed blush formula. I think they do a good job with it. I don't typically go for matte blushes. I do prefer something a little more sheeny, but these are really beautiful, and I feel like my dewy makeup can still kind of shine through them. They're not crazy like opaque matte where they're gonna mattify my skin. They just, I don't know. I feel like they're really easy, you don't have to think about it kind of blushes. And finally, the 2 Luxe glosses. This was my first time trying their Luxe glosses, and I love them. I want more shades so badly. I think they're beautiful. The shades are Figgy With It and Check In. I think you can get these separately, but these also might only be sold as a bundle. This one is Figgy With It. This is the one I wear most often out of the 2. I just like the tone of it. It's just a really pretty mauve, and it's not too intense or anything like that. It's really just soft and pretty. And this one is called Check In. It's here on this side. This one kind of matches my natural lip color. It just makes it look a little more shiny and juicy, which I'm not complaining about. I think it's fine, but I do reach for the Figgy With It one more. I love the formula. I don't find it to be too thick, but I don't find it to be super thin and slippy feeling either. It's kind of in between. Reminds me a little bit of the Fenty Gloss Bombs, but not exactly either. It's hard to explain. I really like it. The scent is pleasant. It's like kind of minty, but kind of fruity. I'm not exactly sure what that scent is, but I like it. I don't really like the component. Like, I like the packaging, but there's something about the way, like, it pops back up. You have to really, like, push it when you're screwing it back on, or it pops back up. Very minor detail that I don't really care for, but I figured I would mention it anyways. Moving on, from Sugar Pill, they sent me the Capsule Collection Volume 2, the orange edition. This was in partnership with Ulta, hence the orange. I lost my mind when I saw this palette. You guys already know how much I loved the first capsule palette they came out with, and then when they were coming out with a second, I was super excited. And then when I saw the color story, I was even more excited because this is just so springy to me. This is like Such a good combination of neutrals and really fun colors. Not to toot my own horn, but I think I made some really pretty looks with this palette. I just find this to be so fun. This is one of my absolute favorite blush shades in my collection. I will swatch it for you. It is to die for. Let me just pop it right here. It is such a beautiful peach. Oh my goodness, I love it. The matte yellow is beautiful. I love these shimmers right here. This shimmer right here is so unique and pretty. Do you see how lovely that is? I just love this palette. I think they did such a great job with it. I hope they continue with this capsule like series because I'm having a lot of fun with these palettes. I think the color stories are really fun and inspiring. I'm a big fan. I would love to see more. And then the last thing for the month of March is the Good Molecules Pineapple Exfoliating Powder. This is kind of what replaced that Pixy exfoliating cream for me. I love this. I use this probably twice a week, every 3 or 4 days or so. I keep this in my shower as well. The packaging is kind of like this. It just has this little opening at the top and it's just a powder on the inside, like a pure just loose powder. You pour a teaspoon size in your hand. I just guesstimate. I don't keep a teaspoon in my shower. And then I just kind of get my fingers wet with the water and just kind of dribble it on. You mix it together until it forms a foam and then you can apply it to your skin and you just lightly rub it around and rinse it off and your skin feels so soft. This exfoliates so nicely. I find this to be super gentle for my skin. I prefer it in the morning, but you could totally use it at night as well. It says AM or PM on the back of it. This is amazing for me. Again, no issues with sensitivity with this. I think it's doing a great job. I'm gonna continue using this like crazy. I've been using it nonstop this past month. All right, so moving on to April, the first thing I got was the Pastel Pup palette from Menagerie, plus a few other things that I'll get to, but let's start with the Pastel Pup. I already did a first impressions, I did eye swatches, I did a 3LX1 palette, I did a battle of the pastel palettes already as well. I gave this palette plenty of attention and love. It's like I love most of it, but the things that I don't like, I really don't like. Let's just talk about the things I don't like because it's very minimal compared to what I do. I feel like this orange just does not show up on me at all, and it could just be because like it's kind of a similar tone to me as far as just like a light shade. It's not really gonna pop on me. Even with a white base, this just doesn't do much for me. It might be different for other people, but for me it's a no-go. The yellow is okay if you have a white base and really, really, really pack it on. It can become a really cute pastel yellow, but for the most part that takes just a lot of effort for very little payout. And even though like obviously pastels are supposed to be more sheer, I just feel like the yellow is too sheer. I feel like it needs just a little more pigment to it. The black is fine. It's not the blackest black I own, but I also just wish it just wasn't in this palette. I would have been fine without it. And the white I just don't really use with these pastel shades. I did use it a couple times just to help blend out the edges, but because the pastels are already so pastel, I didn't feel like I really needed the addition of the white in here. This trifoil is so beautiful. I thought the addition of this was so smart. They do sell the trifoil as a single separately. The other ones are only sold as the palette, and right now it's out of stock. I think they're gonna have another pre-order in the summer, but I'm not entirely sure about that. You'll have to check their Instagram if you're interested. Other than the minor issues that I mentioned, I do love this palette. I find that the purple and periwinkle blend so beautifully and they look so pretty. The blue, the two green colors, I love these two pinks. Snack as a blush is so cute. I had a lot of fun playing with this palette. I just kind of avoided the yellow and the orange. It wasn't a huge deal to me. I 100% was gonna buy this palette regardless, but then they told me they were gonna send it to me, so that was great for my wallet since I'm out of a job right now. But I did have a lot of fun with this palette, but just those are those things that I would make you aware of in case you were just like really into the yellow or the orange. Those are the shades that I feel like kind of didn't really do it for me. They also released 3 more trifoils with that collection and I got those as well. This one is Bunny, this one is Chicky, this one is Turtle Club. Bunny, Chicky, Turtle Club. They are so textured, they're so reflective, they just have the most beautiful shifts to them. They look beautiful on the eye. I personally like to use my fingers with these. I feel like with a brush, they're a bit hard to really pack on. I feel like they work a lot quicker and easier with the finger, but you can make it work with a brush. I think they're stunning. I love that they included like some special singles like this with this collection. I thought it was a really smart move. She also included a few liquid lipsticks. I've been buying her liquid lipsticks for a while, but she included some shades that I didn't already have. It was these 6 right here. I'm not gonna swatch these on my hand because I do actually have a lip swatch video swatching all of my Menagerie lipsticks, including these ones and ones that I already owned on my IGTV if you wanna see that, because I feel like those are more accurate swatches anyways. But this is Anthurium. That is not how you pronounce it. It's a really pretty deep red. This one is Hook, Line, and Sinker. It's a beautiful cool toned pink. I love the way this looks. It's like almost a purpley pink, but it's a little, definitely more pink than purple. This one is Mako, which is a beautiful blue. Holy cow, one of the most pretty blue liquid lipsticks I've ever seen. This is Luna. It's a really pretty dusty mauve purple. It's so lovely. I like this one more than I thought it was going to. I thought I would only want to wear this like for the lip swatches and that was it, but I actually really like this and I've gravitated towards it a few times. This one is called Starfish. This is so fun. It's such a bright, warm purple. It's so cute. It borderlines a little pinkish, but it's definitely still a purple. I love this one. It's so fun. This is such a cute pop of color on the lips. And this one is called Leviathan. I don't know how to say that word, but it's just a really cute teal turquoise kind of feel. It's really fun. I don't wear colors like this on the lips hardly ever, but I do think it's a fun color and I know a lot of people are into colors like this for the lips. Again, I do have that lip swatch video on my IGTV. I love the formula of these. They actually changed the component. The wand used to be more of just like a standard doe foot. Now it's a little more pointed and has this well on the inside, and I feel like it really helps disperse the product a lot better. I love the new wand so much. The new component itself is a little bit smaller. I'm not sure how much less product is in them, or if any, because I don't have the original boxes, so I can't compare my old one versus the new one. But I still feel like it's a pretty decent size lipstick. I don't have issues with the sizing. I really like the formula. It's described as a velvet matte, so it's not 100% matte, but it does dry down for the most part, but it leaves a little bit of a velvetyness. It's hard to explain. Really like the formula. I feel like it lasts a long time on me and it doesn't like cake or crack or anything like that for me. Oh, all right, that was a lot of words for some menagerie products. Next, I got a PR package from Urban Decay. Who would have thought that I would have ever gotten an Urban Decay package? That's crazy. They came out with some products in their Moon Dust line and sent them over to me. So one is an eyeshadow in the shade Lithium, and I really like this. The texture is so smooth and creamy feeling. It's so pretty. I love the shade, like more than I thought I would. It's just this really pretty bronze with this really pretty reflect, and it has these like almost pale green and pink shimmers running through it. It's really unique and pretty. I love pairing it on the eyes with other shimmers. I feel like it really just adds a little bit of interest. Is this something that's like totally necessary? Would I have ran out and purchased this myself? Probably not, but I'm really happy that I have it. I've kept it on my filming desk all month, this month as well, just to be able to grab when I felt like using it. This is the Moon Dust Glitter Liquid in the shade Moon Spoon. This is advertised to be used on the face and the body. I did try using this as a liquid highlight. I did not like it. It was really hard to blend out and I just didn't like the tone of it on me, which I didn't think I would. It's clearly very blue silver. I did use it on my body as well. I feel like the formula is nice. It's very sparkly. Here, I'll rub some on my hand so we can see what it looks like. It's very blue silver. It's very sparkly, very glittery, but I feel like it's pretty. It's just, this probably wouldn't have been the color I would have picked out, but that's kind of what it looks like. Very titanium. I'll probably use it on occasion, like maybe if I'm going out at nighttime, which is not very often, maybe I would reach for something like this, but for the most part, I probably won't utilize this too much. If it was a different shade, I probably would. It probably would have been really pretty on my body, but for me and my skin tone, this just doesn't really flatter me the best. But I like the formula, it's just the color I kind of have problems with. I went and washed my hands and now I'm back. Clean hands, no more sparkles. They sent over 2 more products when they sent me those products. This is also part of the Moon Dust collection. It's one of their shimmer lipsticks. This is in the shade Rising. I really like the formula of this. It feels really nice. It applies nice to the lips. I like the shape of the applicator and I like how long and skinny it is. I think it's really pretty. I like the color of it. It's just, I'm not a shimmer lipstick kind of person. I like shimmer in my gloss, not so much the lipstick. I feel like it looks fine. It's just borderline metallic looking, and metallic lips are just not my favorite, but I do like the formula. I like the component. I like the color of it. Just don't like the metallic nature so much. But if you're into metallics, you might really like that. And last, they sent me the Perversion 24/7 Glide On Pencil, which was perfect because I was getting low on my black eyeliner. I love this. I use this to tight line my upper waterline every single day to help my fake lashes blend in. I find this to be really creamy. It doesn't transfer into my waterline, and I really like it. It's a solid black eye pencil. No complaints there. All right, moving on. The brand Spoiled Lips Cosmetics reached out to me and wanted to send me some of their products. They asked me if there was anything in particular that I wanted, and I picked out a palette that seemed interesting, and they ended up sending me 3 palettes and 6 liquid lipsticks. So let's go over those. The palette that I picked out that interests me was the Be Royal palette. I really liked the color story. It's just like grungy, muted spring tones, and I thought it was really pretty. I don't like the fact that there's 2 pressed glitters in here, but since it's only 2, it's fine. I've only used this once so far. I played with like these tones, and they were really pretty. They definitely are more muted. You have to build them up to get like good pigmentation out of them, but they build up nicely. So yes, they're not crazy pigmented right off the bat, but they do build up nice, and I created a really pretty look with it. I definitely want to play with this some more. I want to play with like these tones really bad. I really am interested in playing with some of these purples. The shimmers don't look that exciting to me. I haven't really played with them yet, but these just look like very, I don't want to say dull shimmers, but not crazy textured shimmers, you know what I mean? And I'm a very textured shimmer kind of person. But the one time I used it, I thought it was really nice. Obviously, this is only really a first impressions, not so much a review on this. All of these palettes I've only played with once, so keep that in mind. But so far, I liked it. It's not my favorite formula in the world, but I also didn't have like trouble with it. It's just, I prefer something a little more pigmented, but I do like the colors in here a lot. They sent over the Slay for Salma palette right here. It's a really cute 9-pan. I really like the sizing of this. I really like the color story. A lot of you have compared this to the Jackie Aina palette from ABH, and I can kind of see that. I didn't see it at first, but I definitely can see it now. The shimmers in here are a lot more textured. There's these 3 really pretty textured shimmers in the middle, the 6 mattes on the outside. I did an IGTV video with this, and I played with most of the shades, so I feel like I have more of a feel of this palette. The mattes were super pigmented, and they blended so beautifully. The shimmers just took my breath away. The formula in this palette is vastly different than the one I just showed you. I was really, really happy with the formula in this one. And the last palette they sent me was the Oh Abby palette right here. It's a very large rainbow palette. I like the fact that the pans are small, but this is definitely like much bigger of a palette than I typically reach for. I like smaller palettes. I did play with this once. The mattes, they seem to perform similar to the Slay for Salma, where they were pretty pigmented and they blended out pretty easily. I didn't really have issues there. I did use this shimmer, and I got more impact when I used my finger. When I used my brush, it was very sheer and lackluster. Again, there's 2 pressed glitters in here. I'll probably never touch those. But so far, I mean, the mattes like made me happy. The shimmers aren't my favorite in the world, but they ended up looking fine in the end. Well, it looked very fine in the end. I'll probably play with this some more if you guys are interested. Again, all these palettes are first impressions kind of things, not so much a thorough review, because it's 3 palettes and I only got them like 2 weeks ago. But I mean, I had fun with them. I was really impressed by the Slay for Salma palette, and the other 2 I'm just kind of still feeling out, but I don't really have major issues with them. And now the liquid lipsticks. I will say, I don't like the packaging of these. They feel very cheap to me. I don't know, they just feel cheap. And I hate saying that because I obviously got them as a gift, but I gotta be honest with you guys in case you're interested in buying them. I tried wearing a couple, and the formula also just wasn't my favorite. It's very, I don't know, I found them to be very drying. They weren't very comfortable, which is unfortunate. I did try wearing my lip mask under them like I wear with every lipstick ever. It helped a little bit, but it's just not my favorite liquid lipstick formula. They were a little streaky on me. Not my favorite thing. I definitely like their eyeshadows more than their lipsticks is basically what I'm getting at. I will swatch them for you just so you can see the shades. This is called Skin. It's a nice light nude. I just feel like they look good at first, but as soon as like 10 minutes goes by, that's when it starts to not look so good. This one is in the shade Send Nudes. It's a lot more of a peachy light pink. This one is definitely not my color. I will likely give this one to a friend because this kind of color just does not flatter me at all. This one is called Creep. This one I actually have not worn yet. Is that a black or is it a really dark purple? I think that's a black. I assume that I probably won't love this black since I don't love the formula of the other ones, but I will give it a shot at some point. This one is called Vixen. This is the first one I ever tried to wear, and this is the one that just felt, I don't know, it just felt too dry for me, but the color's really pretty. That's why I reached for it first. This one is in the shade Voodoo. It's a purple. It's a really pretty purple, but again, the formula is just a bit dry. And it's really hard to close. They do that thing that the Colourpop ones do where you have to really push it in to get it to screw on. And this last one is called Dare Me. This is a really pretty, just like mauve-y color. I really like that one. But again, the formula just kind of disappointed me a bit there. It's not my favorite. Probably one of my least favorites. But I am appreciative that I got to try these things. I really like that Slay for Salma palette. I think it's really cute. All right, moving on. I just got this PR package about a week ago. It's the new Nomad Cosmetics Studio 54 collection. Look how pretty the packaging is. I love this sparkle, this shine. It's so cute. The collection consists of 2 multi-chrome disco lighters, which are highlighters, and 1 multi-chrome disco shadow palette. Let's go over the highlighters first. I'm actually wearing this one today. It's in the shade Disco Nights. It's on my cheekbones and in my inner corner. Looks like this. It looks like it's gonna be Scary Peach Orange, but it blends out to be this really pretty peachy gold kind of color. It's not too intense when you highlight your cheekbones with it. Well, as far as color goes, it's a pretty bright highlight, but I think it's really pretty. These are very smooth highlights. I don't find them to be like crazy textured glittery on my skin. I feel like these are some of the smoothest, like colorful highlights I've used. This one is in the shade Hot Shot that I just swatched. It looks like that. Pink with that beautiful blue shift. I loved the way this one looked on my cheekbones. I'm having a lot of fun with these. The formula seems pretty solid. I really like both of these a lot. And the Disco Shadow Quad looks like this. I've only worn 2 shades yet, but I have swatched the other ones, and I'll swatch them again for you. But they look like this. Oh, look how cute! This one is called Le Freak. I have not worn this one yet. Beautiful yellow pink. Do you see that? It's so bright. This one is called I'm Coming Out. It's quite similar to the highlight actually. I just feel like the tone of pink and the tone of blue shift are slightly different. This one is called Got to Be Real. I have not worn this one yet either. I did wear the pink one. It's really pretty. But this Got to Be Real one is kind of like a dingy green. I don't mean dingy in a bad way, just kind of like grungy green, and it's kind of silvery. It's really cool. And then this one, Last Dance, I've also worn. Let me get that swatched where I can actually see it. It's this really pretty like silvery blue, but kind of gold as well. I think these are stunning. I think they're just so fun. I think they're really fun to play with. I compared these to those special shadows that are in the Tokyo Harajuku. I feel like these have a little bit more texture and grit to them than the Tokyo Harajuku. Those ones felt a bit more slick and slidey. But regardless, I think they're really fun. They're so pretty. You better believe I'm gonna be using these like crazy in my looks, and I'm just so appreciative to have these. I do have a code with Nomad. It's ButeBean10 if you're interested in saving any money. I don't make a commission off of that code. It's just purely for you. But yeah, so far so good. I'm having fun with these disco shadows and highlights. Just a couple more things left. About 3 days ago actually, I got a package from Esta Co, which is Midas Cosmetics' sister company that is doing lashes. I'm actually wearing the style cassette right now. I've worn them today and yesterday, and I think they are stunning. They're so big and fluffy and spiky. I really like these. They were really easy for me to apply. I definitely had to trim them because they are huge, way too big for my eye, but once I trimmed them, I think they look great. They also sent me the style Mixtape and the style Pop Rocks. I'm really interested in both of them. They're both very big and fluffy. I really like the packaging. I think it's really cute. They have this thing where I think you can buy lashes just by themselves, or they have like a monthly lash subscription where you get like lashes every month at like a set price, like you know how subscription boxes work. And I think it's really cool that they sent me these. I think they're so fun and pretty. I know that they have smaller styles as well because I've seen them on Instagram. They have very more natural looking ones, but you guys know me. I like my big lashes. And then about 2 days ago, I got my final PR package for this video. It's from the brand MOTD Cosmetics. They wanted to send me some products. They didn't really specify what they wanted to send me, but they ended up sending me a brush set and some lashes. I wore this pair in I think my Colourpop multi-palette bingo. They're in the style GNO. I thought they were really cute. They're not huge, but they were really fluffy and pretty. I enjoyed wearing them. These were also really easy to apply. The other style that I have not worn yet is Pose. These seem like they might be a little small for my preference, but I'll probably end up giving them a shot anyways. I think they're really pretty. The hairs just look very fluttery. They don't look too stiff or plasticky. They're just made with synthetic fibers. I don't use animal hair lashes. And for synthetic lashes, all of these that I've tried recently have been really pretty. And then the brush set. It came in this bag that looks like this, just a nice sized makeup bag. They sent me 8 brushes in their brush set, and I'm gonna go over them with you. I've used them for my makeup today and yesterday just to get a good feel of them so I could include them in this video. This is the Supermodel Sculpt. I've been using this to blend out my concealer. I've been on a no foundation kick lately, so I just used this to blend out my concealer on just primed skin, and it blended like a dream. I really like how soft these bristles are. Really, really like this for concealer. This might be my favorite brush for blending out concealer that I've found so far. Typically, I like sponges for most of my face makeup, but just for the sake of trying to use these, and sometimes I'm lazy and don't feel like wetting my sponge, I like that one. This one is called Beauty and the Base. I would probably use this for foundation if I was going to use foundation and use a brush and not a sponge, but for the purpose of playing with the makeup lately, I was using this to blend out my cream bronzer and my cream blush, and it did quite a good job. I used my Milk Makeup bronzing stick. I just swirled the brush onto the product, blended it onto my face, and it did a great job. I didn't have any issues with it picking up anything or skipping or anything like that. It blended like a dream. I was really impressed with both of those. This next one is called the Set and Go, but I used it for bronzer. Just for powder bronzer, I just swirled it where I would normally apply bronzer. It did a great job. I actually really, really like the shape of this. I think this might become my everyday bronzer brush. Really like the shape. It's very fluffy. I feel like it places the product and disperses it very nicely. It's very easy to use. This is the Get Cheeky With It brush. I've been using like an angled brush for my blush for a while, so I used this one for my blush as well, and I quite enjoyed it. I enjoyed it just as much as I do any angled blush brush. It did the job. It did fine. I could totally see myself continuing to use all 4 of these for my face. And then for the eyes, although this one technically is called the Conceal Your Secret, I think this is meant for concealer, but I used it as a blending brush and I thought it was fine. It blended out my product beautifully. I didn't have any issues with it being too stiff or too soft. I feel like it's dense enough to really pack the product on, but it's still fluffy enough to blend it out nicely. This one I really like. This is the Eye Catching Crease brush. It's like a very long, skinny pencil brush. I feel like, again, it's stiff enough to really pack the product on, but then it blends nicely to get the product dispersed. And I really liked how long and pointy this was. I felt like I was really able to get in my crease nicely and get those like really small nooks and crannies. This is a great one. This is the Miss Shady Lady. I used this today to pack the shimmer shade across my lid. I feel like it's fine. It's nice and fluffy. I feel like I could use this for pretty much any lid action. I wouldn't use this for a cut crease because it's a bit too thick for that, but really any shadow action I could totally see using this brush. And then the only brush I didn't use is the Straight to the Point. It's an angled little skinny brush. I just didn't have a purpose for it the last 2 days, so I didn't use it, but I will definitely keep it with my other skinny angled brushes, and I'm sure I will utilize it next time I need one of these brushes. I was kind of nervous for these brushes just because I'd never really heard of this brand before, but I was pretty pleasantly surprised. I'm gonna continue using most of these brushes probably on the regular, so that's really exciting. Anyways, whew, that is it for this video. I'm sure it was long. Hopefully you had a snack to get you through it. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was informative. I know it was a lot of information. I was just trying to be as thorough as possible and give you all the pros and cons so you could make decisions if you were curious about any of these products. By no means do I think anyone needs to run out and buy any of this stuff. This is just me simply helping give my opinions as best as possible. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you want me to continue with this series, please let me know because I can stop if this isn't interesting. But if you like it, then I will see you again in 2 months. If you made it to the end of this very long video, I want you to leave me a vegetable emoji, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, please hop over to my Instagram. It's BeautBean. Follow me there. I post every single day, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm posting most days here as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.